after taking initiation from Sripad Ishwarapuri in Gaya, Mahaprabhu went into deep ecstasy. He went into his internal consciousness, and immediately he wanted to go to Vrindavan. But as he was going to Vrindavan, there was a voice, an unembodied voice, that spoke to him and said, "Now isn't the time for you to go to Vrindavan. You will have your time later. But now is the time for you to begin the Sankirtan movement. Because by the Sankirtan movement, you will cause the bliss of Vaikuntha to descend to this rotten material world. By starting the Sankirtan movement, you will start the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra that will spread throughout the world." So Mahaprabhu, he went back from Gaya to Sridham Mayapur, to Navadvip Dham, and he began the Sankirtan movement in his own very unique way. Now, this pastime is one where Mahaprabhu and all the devotees, they were gathering together all night long, and they were chanting Krishna's names and dancing in ecstasy, and practically speaking, they were in the spiritual world completely. They were all qualified residents of the spiritual world, but by the kirtan and by Mahaprabhu's own ecstasy, all the devotees also were swimming and drowning in that ecstasy. But Mahaprabhu, as we heard last time, he ordered that the doors be locked after all the devotees were inside. And those who were curious and those who were offenders were locked out, because the Mahaprabhu wanted to chant just with the devotees, because Sajatiya Vaishnava Sangha, it is important to share association with like-minded souls. So, some of the people who were locked out, even though they didn't have the proper consciousness, they were very offended, but yet the doors remained closed. Now, in this pastime, and also in the pastimes of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and also in the pastimes between the residents of Vrindavan, and including Sri Krishna and Krishna Lila, it is important to watch the interactions, the dealings, because they are meant to evoke the love, the bhav, the transcendental experiences of affection, etc., in all its different forms. It is meant to evoke that within the hearts of all the participants. So according to Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is an essential ingredient in the relationship with Krishna. And if that is there, the different rasa will be generated. Now who knows the Sanskrit for that essential ingredient? Oh, one step before. The staibhav. That relationship with Krishna that is firmly situated within the heart. That's there. And then, just like if someone is hearing about some disaster in some faraway part of the world, and we hear about it, and oh, that's terrible, but no emotion becomes evoked because we don't have a relationship with any of the people who are suffering in that way. But if something happens in our hometown or to someone that we know or to our family members, immediately the heart will go this way and that way and this way and that way. It will be turned because the bhav, the staya bhav, the fixed emotion is already established. So in Mahaprabhu's Lila, we can get carried away despite our lack of staya bhav. But pay attention to how these Leelas affect the participants. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur begins. Glory, glory to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Glory, glory to the dear devotees of Lord Caitanya. Accompanied by his devotees, the Lord always, nightly, performed Sankirtan, the chanting of Krishna's names in Navadvip. At night, behind closed doors, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu performed kirtan and outsiders could not enter. One day, as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu danced in the home of Srivas Thakur, Srivas Thakur's mother-in-law hid within the house's doors. Srivas Pandit and the other devotees did not know that she was behind a large basket in the corner, dancing and dancing from room to room and chanting Krishna's names with all the devotees. Mahaprabhu suddenly said, "Why am I not ecstatic?" As the super soul in the hearts of all beings, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, Vishwambar, he knew everything. And even though he knew, he acted as if he was eager to know. Dancing again and again, he again finally said, "I'm not happy. Is there someone hiding here?" Everyone began searching the whole house, and Srivas personally looked in every room saying, "There is no outsider here." Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu then resumed the kirtan. But still, the Lord did not experience his usual ecstasy. Again, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu stopped and said, "I do not feel happy. Lord Krishna is not merciful to me today." All the devotees became very afraid at heart. They were thinking, "But for us, no one is here." Just imagine. You'd think, "Oh, it's because of my lack of devotion that Mahaprabhu isn't feeling," and that everyone's consciousness was fully focused on Mahaprabhu. They loved him so completely. He was everything for them. So for us, they said, "No one is here. Perhaps one of us has committed an offense, and that is why the Lord is not happy at heart." Again, Srivas went through the house, and this time he saw his mother-in-law hiding. And overcome with love for Krishna, Srivas became like a wild man, proud and angry. Sri Chaitanya's words had made Srivas's body tremble in anger. And on Srivas's order, the mother-in-law was grabbed by the hair and thrown outside. Only Srivas and no one else knew this had happened. At that moment, Lord Caitanya became ecstatic as he danced. Lord Caitanya said, "Now I feel ecstasy in my heart." Smiling, Srivas Pandit sang as the circle of Vaishnavas blissfully sang a tumultuous kirtan. That fair lion that was Lord Caitanya, blissfully danced, and powerful Nityananda danced with him. Another day, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and dancing, but he did not feel ecstasy. And he looked in the four directions. Why am I not happy today? Did I commit an offense? To whom? Whom have I offended? Advaita Charja was naturally devoted to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and he thought himself a servant of the Lord. He never thought of himself as anything else. In relationship to Krishna, there are how many rasas? 5 rasas. But in relationship with Mahaprabhu, there is one rasa only, Dasya rasa. Everyone prefers the mood of servant. Then Lord Caitanya sat on the Singhasan, the deity throne, and Advaita placed the Lord's lotus feet on his own head. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu displayed divine powers and opulence, Advaita floated in an ocean of bliss. At those times, Mahaprabhu would declare, Nara. He would always call Advaita Charja Nara. You are my servant. And at those times, Advaita felt limitless joy. No one has the power to understand the inconceivable nature of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. One moment he grasps the Vaishnava's feet, then he places a blade of grass between his teeth and he weeps. Then he calls out, Oh Krishna, you are my life, you are my life. When he would weep, in that mood, stones would crack into pieces. Always thinking himself a servant of Krishna. In this way, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed his pastimes. Before everyone, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu would break apart the idea that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when in that mood, the mood of his own servant, he would ask, Krishna is my life, and Krishna is my treasure. In this way, he was demonstrating the exact mood of a devotee. Seeing him is my duty, O my brothers. You are my friends, birth after birth. My goal, my only goal is to serve Krishna. I have no other goal, I have no other desire. All of you, I beg you to please teach me how to serve Krishna. If you don't, then my heart will wander here and there and go astray. When the Lord was in this mood, the devotees became frightened and drew back. No one would breathe. No one would speak. At other times, the Lord would give orders to the devotees. And at those times, the devotees were able to touch the lotus feet of the Lord because he was in the mood of the Supreme Lord. But then later, seeing the same Vaishnavas, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu would think of himself only as their servant. And standing up, he would respectfully touch their feet and take from their feet the dust. And at this time, the Vaishnavas would feel unhappy at heart, but the Lord would then remove their unhappiness by embracing them. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu always considered Advaita Charja his spiritual master. And when the Lord would offer him respect, Advaita Charja would experience great unhappiness. Advaitacharya's only desire was to directly serve the Lord. While Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu slept, Advaitacharya would come before him and grasp the Lord's feet. In his heart he meditated on Lord Chaitanya's feet. The direct service of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was consistently and constantly his only desire. Although he did not have the power to serve him directly because the Lord would always treat him as a respectful superior, still he yearned to do so. What does yearn mean? Intensely desired, but not expressed. Therefore, with this desire in his heart, Advaitacharya resorted to taking the dust from Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, stealing it when the Lord was resting. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu fainted in ecstatic love, Advaitacharya approached the Lord's feet. He offered dandavat obeisances to those feet, and Advaita fell before the soles of the Lord's feet, and with the tears from his eyes, he would wash Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu fainted in ecstasy, on his own head, Advaitacharya would wipe the Lord's feet. Offering dandavat obeisances, he would worship the Lord only because he had attained Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's great mercy. Could Advaita act in these ways? Therefore, Advaitacharya was the chief, the foremost of all the Vaishnavas. And all the Vaishnavas would say, Advaita is so fortunate. Who is fortunate like Advaitacharya? Wicked persons do not understand the secret of Lord Advaitacharya's transcendental glories. But one day, as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and Advaitacharya was happily following him, the Lord, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, fell unconscious. Seeing this and taking advantage of the ecstasy of Mahaprabhu, Advaita took the dust of the Lord's feet and he covered all the limbs of his body with that dust. And then, as thieves often do, he hid. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was perfectly aware of all these wonderful activities. And then, when he came to external consciousness, he began dancing again. But after dancing and dancing, he exclaimed to all the devotees that he felt no happiness on this day. Why is ecstasy absent from my heart? Who have I offended? And now I do not feel joyful. What was stolen from me? Who stole it? Now I have no power to dance in ecstasy. Has someone taken the dust from my feet? Tell the truth. Has anyone touched my feet? Hearing the words of he who is the super soul present in everyone's heart, the devotees became afraid. They remained silent. No one spoke. If they were to speak and tell the truth, they would have to face the response of Sri Advaitacharya, and if they did not speak, they felt they would die. Understanding their dilemma, Advaitacharya folded his hands and said, if a thief cannot steal directly, he will steal when no one is looking. Oh Lord, I am the thief. Please forgive my transgressions, and if it displeases you, I will not do it again. Advaita Charya's words made Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu angry. And on that pretext, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu described the glories of Advaita Charya. He said, you are the destroyer of everything. And even then, after destroying everything, you feel no sadness in your heart. When everything is destroyed, you won't be happy unless you destroy me also. You kill the ascetics, you kill the sannyasis, you kill the yogis, and you kill the philosophers. Who do you not kill with your trident? He's speaking to him as if he is Sadashiva. And then, when people grasp your feet to attain the goal of life, you respond by killing them. When you touch the dust of a person's feet, you destroy that person. And without mercy, you destroy him. Lord Krishna has given to you all the devotion that exists in the countless universes, but you nevertheless rob a small person who has so little. There is no mercy in your heart. You rob from the poor. You are a Gunda. You are the greatest of thieves. You have robbed my happiness of love for Krishna. In this way, on the pretext of criticizing Advaita Charya, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu praised him and his position, and hearing the Lord's words, all the devotees floated in bliss. Then Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have robbed me. Can I not rob you now? Look, look, I will steal from the thief. And after speaking these words, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu grabbed Advaita Charya's feet, and laughing, he took all the dust that was there. And Advaita Charya had no power to defeat that fair lion, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. On his own head, Sri Caitanya rubbed Advaita's feet, and holding to his own chest Advaita Charya's feet, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, look, look, I have tied up the thief. I have imprisoned him in my heart. 100 times you robbed me. 100 times you stole from me. But I am the master of the house. And now, in one sitting, I reclaim all that was stolen from the thief. I have reclaimed from the thief all that he has stolen from my house. Then Advaita Charya said, what you say is true. You are the master of the house. My life, my intelligence, my mind and body are all your property. Lord, if you kill someone, who can protect him? You give happiness, and you also give suffering. If you punish someone, who can protect him? Narada and the sages went to Dwarka city to see the life treasure that is your feet. And then, when they did, you took the dust of their feet. What could they do? That I ask you. When you take the dust of your servant's feet, what can that servant do? How can your servant give the dust of his feet to you? But who can disobey you? It is not right for the Supreme Lord to act in this way. You will destroy me, and you think it is funny. But you may either protect me or destroy me. O Lord, you can do with me whatever you wish. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu responded by saying, O Advaita Charja, you are the keeper of the storehouse of devotional service. That is why I serve your feet. Anyone who anoints his body with the dust of your feet will float in the nectar of pure love for Krishna. If you do not give it, no one can attain devotional service. Please know perfectly well that I am your property. You can sell me as you like. I tell you the truth. In their hearts, all the devotees meditated on Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's great mercy to Advaita. They said, the Lord has truly served him, and therefore Advaita Acharya is the most exalted person. 10 million liberations are not equal to a small fragment of the mercy that Advaita Acharya has attained. Even the demigod Lord Shiva never attained mercy like the mercy Advaita Acharya attained from Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. We are fortunate to associate with such an exalted devotee. The dust of this devotee's feet we all place on our limbs. The devotees were very happy to praise Advaita Acharya. Even though, because of their past misdeeds, sinners may feel unhappy to hear Advaita's glories, everything I have said is true. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur said, those who have no faith in the Vaishnava's words will perish. Then, suddenly, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly stood up and said, Haribol! And then the devotees around him in the four directions began to sing, overcome with bliss, forgetting all else, and now becoming like a wild man. Advaita Acharya danced and danced and danced, placing his hand on his beard and knitting his eyebrows. Advaita Acharya, the master of Shantipur, loudly roared, and then he began to dance. Day and night, everyone happily sang the names of Krishna. Gopal! Govinda! Vanamali! And the Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone can.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
concealing his true identity, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu performed Sankirtan each night in Navadvip. When he walked in the town, all who saw him thought he was Kamadev himself. His beauty was so unlimited. Yet, materialists and offenders, seeing his activities, considered that he was proud. Because they knew the great power of his learning, they did not confront him though, rather they feared him. So, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, accompanied by his servants, walked in the town of Navadvip, and some who were envious of the Lord approached him and said, "Nimai Pandit, soon the king will send out an order to capture you. He knows that in secret you are performing kirtan at night, and even though they cannot see you, the people curse you moment after moment. We are not lying. We are your friends, and therefore we are telling you the truth in advance so that you can be prepared." To these words, the Lord replied, "So be it, so be it." How would you say that in Bengali? Tik ache. Bhalo, khub bhalo. Thank you, he would say, for I have wished to hear these words. I will see the king. From childhood I've studied all the scriptures, but thinking me only a boy, no one will question me about Shastra. It is my desire that people seek me out and question me. But the materialists and the offenders said, the king just wants to hear if you are breaking the law and performing kirtan. He doesn't want to have a scholarly debate with you. He is a Muslim. Thinking the materialists and offenders no more important than a blade of grass, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his home, saying, today I spoke with materialists. Everyone, let us chant Krishna's names in kirtan, then my unhappiness will perish. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the king of Vaikuntha, then began to dance, and surrounding him in the four directions, his followers would chant the names of Krishna. After dancing and dancing, the Lord stopped and he said, oh my brothers, why do I not feel ecstatic love today? Perhaps I am not experiencing ecstasy because today I have spoken with materialists. Or perhaps I have offended you all. Please forgive my offenses and save my life. Exalted Lord Advaita Charja, he knitted his eyebrows and he began to dance, saying, why would you feel ecstatic love? I, Nara, have dried up all your ecstasy. I did not attain ecstatic love. I did not have the opportunity to serve you. Neither did Srivas attain it. Go ahead. Enjoy your pastimes of ecstatic love with the sellers of flowers and the sellers of sesame seeds. You made your Avaduta a servant of ecstatic love, while I, meanwhile, am left outside. Srivas Pandit is also left outside. Your Avaduta Nitai, he came here and he became the gatekeeper of the storehouse of ecstatic love. And now we are not qualified. If you do not give me ecstatic love, my Lord, then I will continue to dry up all of your love. And I will not even slightly be at fault. Although Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was morose and feeling incapable of attaining ecstatic love for Krishna, Advaita Charja was ecstatically clapping his hands and happily dancing as he said those words. And hearing Advaita's words, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu did not reply, but instead he quickly ran to the door and broke down the door. And then he ran outside and headed towards the Ganga. Nityananda and Haridas quickly ran after him, thinking that his body was now empty of all spiritual love. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu jumped into the Ganga, and Nityananda and Haridas jumped in after him. What will happen next? It's too late to continue. What to do? We shall chant, and tomorrow, Krishna willing, we shall continue and find out what amazing pastimes Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu performed next in the Ganga.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hare Gaura Hare Jaya Gaura Hare Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hare Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hare Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Om Vishnu Pat Paramanasa Parivida Kishore Vistata Satasya Sivanis Divine